Let's turn our attention now to the home front, and that's all about the NFF elections that took place, well, on Friday. After all the controversies, we now have a new NFF president, and it's a new era. You have Ibrahim Gusso leading the Nigerian Football Federation at this point over the next 4 years. You also have Eyimba's longtime, chairman serving as his assistant, or rather vice president, talking about Felix Anyagu, among others. Aisha Falode as well got elected into the executive committee. What do you make of the elections and, Ibrahim Gusso's emergence?
To be honest, I'm actually not surprised. To be honest,
we saw it coming.
Yeah, we saw it coming. Yeah, I knew it was going to go back to the north. You understand?
Exactly.
Because South ruled for 8 years. Unfortunately, because
Pinnick won second time.
The second time. So I knew it was going to happen that it was going to be Gusau. You understand? And I think it was someone. Gusau was someone Pinnick even preferred. You understand? In fact, it was unconfirmed though.
Yes.
But there was this WhatsApp message that going around. Like, yes, Pinnick sent messages to all the voting delegates that they should vote for Gusau. You understand? So I don't think it's really much of a surprise to see Gusau emerge as the new NFF president.
Remember the third rumored bid of Pinnick at the time, prior to the unfortunate failure to qualify for the World Cup. There were talks at the time that Pinnick was even willing to pitch Ibrahim Gusso as his running mates for the third time bid so that he can gain the support of the North for his third time bid at the time. But that's all in the waters now. Anyways, the waters have been troubled or stirred as well, and we now have a new fish in town. So looking at Gusso, yes, he's been the chairman of Zamfara Football Association for so long, but what do you think he brings to the table in terms of fresh ideas, policies that will be different from what we've seen on the Pinnick, and which can take our football forward?
First of all, I think the decision making needs to be better.
Okay.
Under Pinnick, the decision making was, I think Pinnick took Nigerian football to a new low.
Okay.
Like Nigerian football went into a new low under Pinnick. No thanks to his strange, I don't want to even call it strange decisions, but decisions that actually they had bad consequences. You understand? Like appointments of coaches and all that. You understand? Then the embarrassment that he actually brought to Nigerian football, like we had situation of Super Falcons, not failing to honor their game at the 2019 World Cup unless they were paid. Yes. We had the situation with in 2016 where the Olympic team said they were not going to play until a Japanese businessman. So you see all those kind of situations. We failed to qualify for the Nations Cup consecutive times. You understand? So he brought Nigeria to a new low. So for Gusau right now, I think he needs to pick up the pieces. You understand? We are still feeling the effects of not qualifying for the World Cup. For the World Cup, you understand? And that was down to Pinnick's stupid decision. Also, you understand? So I think Gusau really needs to. I know he was handpicked by Pinnick, but he needs to do things differently from what Pinnick did. There was too much focus on the Super Eagles, and even with that, the Super Eagles failed massively under Pinnick. You understand? So his idea needs to be all encompassing, across all
national teams,
across all national levels. You understand? The Super Falcons, the Super Eagles, the age grade teams, and the local football. You understand? Because if you look at the local football also now, we ran 2 abridged versions of the domestic
league,
of the league. You understand? During Pinnick's tenure, which is really bad. There needs to be investment in our coaches now. I don't think they've run maybe a training or developmental courses for our coaches. You understand? And that shows in our football. That shows in the in the quality of our football, especially the local football. You understand? So there really needs it's going to be a lot of work, but he really needs to do something different from what Pinnick did.
Pinnick did. Okay. Well, we wish Ibrahim Goso the very best, talking about leading Nigerian Football Federation for the next 4 years. And I'm sure the fans are waiting with a bated breath to see the kind of policies it would bring, especially when it comes to, other age grade football teams and the grassroots, because that's where football gets developed, right from the grassroots all through, to the top of the level or the top of the food chain, as it were. Well, it's time to turn our attention now to European football. Yes, and club football actions were back after the international break, and we had some surprises here and there. We'll start with the Manchester derby, where it was Haaland and Phil Foden who ran, route against Manchester United, as Manchester City ran out 6-3 winners over their rivals, as it were. Haaland can't stop scoring. At this rate, you think City are good to go, not just for a title, but Haaland as well, Premier League Golden Boots?
I think it's showing already. I think we all predicted it before the season even started. You understand? And I don't think any of this is actually a surprise. Because if you look at it, in fact, I expect Haaland to break the most goals scored in a single, which
Salah's
is
32 goals record.
Because right now he has 12 goals in just 8 games. You understand? And we still have like 32 games to go. You understand? And don't forget, he's going to be fresh after the World Cup, because Norway did not qualify. And for Manchester City, it's so obvious that they are heads and shoulders above every other team. Yes, I know Arsenal are actually currently leading the table, but you can't even say Arsenal are actually the second best team in the league. You understand?
It's been Liverpool over the last 4 years.
You understand? So you can't really say that, okay, because Arsenal are actually leading the table right now, they suddenly became the second best team in the league. You understand? So I think it shows one thing. One thing that shows was that, like, Liverpool did very well by actually running City close over the last 4 or 5 years. You understand? Because City are just on a different level. I don't see anyone like stopping them. Liverpool could have stopped them, but look at Liverpool's form this season and all that. So I just think it's like, okay, it's just certain that City will win their 4th league title in five years, and Haaland is definitely going to end up except if he probably maybe
picks up a
major injury.
Okay, but where does this defeat leave Manchester United? We know quite well that after suffering 2 successive losses to start the season, they rebounded with that impressive win over Liverpool, strong 4 successive wins, but it's been shaky over the last 2-3 games as well. So where does this leave them? It's a rebuilding process, quite all right, but does it make it easier, more difficult? Ronaldo didn't even get a look in. What's the dressing room looking like?
To be honest, I don't think Manchester United went into that game thinking they could probably maybe win
or even get a draw.
I know there were some United fans that felt optimistic going into the game, but like as a neutral, you knew Manchester City were going to win. So I don't think it would have been disappointing that much. I think what would have been what's disappointing is the way that they were like totally dominated, totally outclassed, and the scoreline. Forget the fact that Martial scored
a brace later.
It was a thrashing. You understand? So I think that will definitely worry Erik ten Hag, because right now they've lost massively to Manchester City.
Yes. They
lost 4-0 to Brentford. Also, they lost at home to Brighton. You understand? So I think that would definitely worry. And it's not like, okay, even the games that they've played that they've won, yes, it's all about winning. It's not like they've played very well. I appreciate what Ten Hag has done, because as a coach, your job is to get the best out of the players and get them to play best as a team. You understand? Yes, he plays as an attacking style of play, but he probably maybe if he realized that, okay, he doesn't have the tools to actually play the same this style that he actually wants to play. So he had to adapt, and that's a very, very that's one of the one or marks of a good coach. You understand? But against teams that you actually expect them to dominate, that's where you can actually judge
Question
Manchester
him.
United.
Okay.
Manchester United. So I'm not really going to read too much into this defeat. Yes, it was disappointing, but I just think they can't dwell on it because they are actually miles behind City. So it's not really a disaster.
Okay.
So that you can just look forward to the next game.
Okay, Arsenal were in action over the weekend. It was a 3-1 win over Spurs in the derby. Quite impressive, it must be said. Gabriel Jesus scoring once again. And the fans are now beginning to get optimistic that Arsenal may just be in the title running. And that's the question Joba will be answering next. Are Arsenal title contenders? From 8 games, they've won 7, lost 1. Do you think they're in for the title?
You know, the thing with title race and all that is this. For example, when Manchester United finished second under Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it wasn't like Manchester United were title contenders.
Exactly.
Someone just had to finish second because City finished with like maybe 19 points ahead. You understand? Someone just had to finish second. So yes, Arsenal have done well for themselves. You understand? But let's not get carried away. We are just 8 games into the season. You understand? So there are still a lot of games to play. So I'm not really going to say they are title contenders right now. But I believe they are actually well equipped to challenge for the top 4, because looking at it on the balance of play squad on paper, I think you probably say you fancy them ahead of Chelsea, you fancy them ahead of Spurs also, and you fancy them ahead of Manchester United. Liverpool have not started very well, which I agree, but you still expect them that probably maybe when they probably maybe get running again, they will be up there. You understand? So I think I'm not going to say Arsenal are going to challenge City, because I believe City are actually the better team. But I believe that they will be up there with the rest of the top 6.
Top teams. Okay.